This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2025 Acura Integra. $289 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines. #1 in the USA.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2025 Acura RDX. $399 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines. #1 in the USA.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Friends, Romans, and countrymen, epic deals await you at Toyota of Hollywood. You don't have to battle to get discounts of up to $4,500. Your chariot awaits. A Toyota Corolla, not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our arena where everyone is victorious at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2024 Acura ZDX, $299 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The game is final. Tua and the boys are in the locker room. Let's go over what happened in this game in our Dolphins Postgame Show with Big O. The Postgame Show is brought to you by Welton Rayom, Acura of Pembroke Pines, Hialeah Park Casino, Toyota of Hollywood, RM Contractors. The stats are final. The insiders are ready. The platform is mastered by the one and only Sean Stanley. Now, let's find out what the Big O thinks about this matchup as we start our Dolphins Postgame Show. Here's Big O.
Oh, Lordy. Oh, man. Do we have a lot of stuff to talk about? Do we have a lot of stuff to contemplate? Wow. It's kind of like it's one of those evenings where they showed up. They put together a gutsy performance. The defense actually found ways to get stops after everybody killing Weaver against the toughest matchup so far this season. They had every chance to win the game. Your captain's completely sunk you. Tua's interception, which, by the way, has now become a habitual thing. This is no longer a aberration or whatever. He's getting burned with the underneath guy 3 times already this year. 3 times. He is missing the underneath guy, and they're burning him again. And then Seiler running into the kicker, which was just... And I feel bad for Seiler. I can be way more critical on Tua than I can on Seiler because God bless him, dude. If you watch the tape or the film or whatever you're watching, the man has no chance. They're doubling him. They're just pushing him aside, and then they're letting the youngins one-on-one, and they can't handle anything. And so that's what's going on. And so you're getting pushed around, and Seiler doesn't have somebody next to him right now because the young fish aren't ready to actually compete. So that's becoming, and so he wants to make a play. God bless him, dude. I'm not going to sit here and slam Seiler. I can slam Tua. Okay, I'm going to slam my boy. But I'm not going to slam Seiler because, that dude is just, he's in a tough situation. I know exactly what's going on. I see the defense. I know the deficiencies of that defense. That's why a lot of you go after Weaver for no reason at all, and you don't really understand what's going on. And any of you that actually thought you were going to have a good defense, why? Because you have pass rushers? Some guy goes, so what? There's no pass rush. And I'm like, bro, they're 16th in the NFL in pass rush. They have 4 sacks. They're in the middle of the pack. And they picked up a few more sacks today too, right? How many sacks did they get today? They got another sack today. Chubb got another sack. He's got 3 sacks in 3 games. So they're picking up sacks. You know what I mean? It's just that your pass rush doesn't mean shit if you can run and short passing game. That's what they did. They got a lot of short pass. But when he held it for a couple times, that's when Miami was able to get to him a couple of times. And that's where the pass rush is crazy, is good for you. But it's not going to save you in this defense if your young defensive tackles don't grow up and if your secondary can't cover. But tonight is not the night to really complain about the defense. The defense actually did enough for you to win. The offense and the undisciplined team that Mike McDaniel coaches, because how many times did we have a lineman downfield and you ruined a positive play? My God, Julian Hill made a play. Julian Hill made a play, a nice play, and there goes Savanaya. And it happened a couple times. Undisciplined. And this is where we start with subject number 1. Is this the performance that should save Mike McDaniel? No, dude. No. Because in this game, Mike McDaniel shows you what the problem he is. You start the game with the run, then you go back to the pass again and you shit the bed. And then you finally go back to the run again and you get another good drive going. And then you come back again in the second half and you do the same shit with passing. And your players are offensive linemen offsides. Your captains are screwing up, lack of discipline. These are things that show up constantly with Mike McDaniel teams. So if you're going to make mistakes, penalties, 6 for 57, they had 3 for 35. And you had some killer penalties. If you're going to have turnovers like the one that Tua had, which was unacceptable, okay? Obviously, the Seilers play was worse than the Tua play, but the Tua play could save the Seilers thing, right? And you didn't do it. So both of your captains had to come through, and they failed miserably. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really about the defense. The offense, well, when it's run the right way, it has a better chance of having success, as we can see. But he refuses to stay with the way he's supposed to. And by the way, if I go back to the box score, and I look, Ollie Gordon, man, it was really nice to see Ollie Gordon finally get some carries. It was really, really good. It was 9 for 38. Now, you had Devon Achane, who had 12 for 62. And so then Malik Washington had a couple, and you just wonder why not actually run even more, which you had chances. And you chose to, ruin some of your drives. The screen one. On first down, you lose 3 yards. It becomes 1st and 13. On the next drive, when you get it again, they start off with a run. They get 5 yards, and it's 2nd and 5 instead of 2nd and 13, which, becomes drive killers. You're playing a pretty good defense. This should be the proof that Mike McDaniel is not the coach. Now, if the Miami Dolphins, remember I told you we talked about this in the pregame show, which a lot of you guys aren't listening in the pregame show. I explained to you, this is going to be fantastic right here. We're going to find out a lot, okay? Because if you don't fire McDaniel tonight and make the change, I'm not sure this is Chris Greer's guy. Because a GM that wants to save his job would fire McDaniel now at this point and make the change with 14 games left. An owner or front office or president or whatever that may have been influenced with this pick may stick with it. Because it makes no sense to stay with Mike McDaniel. You have not turned the corner. You're not a better football team. The players showed up today, not Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel showed you throughout the game that he still has the same bad habits. Just because he gave us a couple of, moments where, hey, you're using logic in the way you're calling the game, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. And you should make the change. There's no reason not to make a change. There's no reason to keep him. If you keep Mike McDaniel, Stephen Ross is basically telling the fan base he doesn't give a shit. He's not interested in winning. He's not interested in shaking things up because at this point, it just doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So you got to at least make the change with the head coach. See if it will do something. You're already 0-3. It's over. You have a coach that has never overcome adversity. And his teams don't play discipline enough to do that kind of stuff. By the way, I took off the hat. Once we lost, when I came upstairs, I took off my hat that I had on I had it on during the pregame in the game, just in case, because I hadn't worn this one in a while. And I was hoping it'd make a difference. I really like this hat. It's got the logo there. It's got the logo inside. It's got that funky ass thing. I really like this hat. This is one of my favorite Dolphin hats that I own. And I thought maybe, but of course, no silly hat is going to do anything for you. So I'll go back to Avalanche, which is kicking ass for me. A lot more than the Dolphins. Okay? I figure, what the hell? Let me go with Avalanche. It's up 7%. It's over $35. You know, we got in at 10. So we're doing all right. Anyway, what else do we have? Don't forget, folks, you can support the show by hitting the hell out of that like button. All right, let's go. We got 1,100 likes in the last one. So let's break the record of 1,100. All right. Last week, 1,100. There's 1,300 people right now watching. Do you know how easily you guys can make that counter absolutely go crazy for us? David Feronis is coming on. Chris Perkins is coming on. They're in the locker rooms. They're talking with the coach. Sean, if there's anything to pass on, please tell us. They're from the writers. If they post anything that is said, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum, Chainlink or Solana donation. We always appreciate that, as always. And you can send in your questions, comments, and insults there at the same time on Cash App or Venmo. Let me go to Venmo. First of all, Rise Taylor. Thank you for the love on Venmo, sir. He says, oh, you got something there, Sean? Some news? Did you do something there? Yes. Can't hear anything.
Not really news, but Keon Smith said he was just benched. Just got to be a little better out there. That's all. So he wasn't injured or anything. He was replaced.
Yeah, he's a tackle. He's not a guard. But whatever, man. Rise Taylor, thank you for the love on Venmo, sir. I don't want to hear anything about the Tua turnover. The only reason we were in the game to begin with is because he led the offense exceptionally well. This game perfectly sums up Mike McClown's time in Miami. I hope after tonight I don't have to see his ugly nerd face again. We got listen, I'm a big Tua guy. No excuses. He screwed up, bro. Tua deserves a ton of criticism. Seiler deserves criticism. And then, of course, Mike McDaniel on top of everything, because his team is just never – he just can ever call a really good game, bro. He can have some moments maybe, but he just can't be a real coach ever, dude. He can never be a grown-up in this game. Adam Pinkser, thank you for the love on the Venmo, sir. Oh, I am 2 text chains with lots of Tua haters, and it gets harder and harder to defend him each week. There's nothing to defend right now, bro. He's playing like shit. He's playing like shit, and he's playing like a rookie getting baited by the underneath. Something's going on that they see some blind spot in what he's doing, because they have suckered him with the underneath guy 3 times already. So Tua deserves all the criticism that he's getting right now. Okay? I know he needs a lot of help, and I know that the team sucks and the coach is a clown and all that other stuff. But when it's on him here, it's got to be on him. Like the deep ball, that's Tyreek. Tyreek dropped the pass. Had nothing. That was up for grabs, and Tyreek had it, and he should have grabbed it, and he didn't. Now, the one on the sideline, when he was pressured and he got off his spot, he was too late to get the ball to Tyreek there, as Herb Street talked about. But again, that's, the offensive line that is not good. But Tua cannot get any breaks today on that. He had his moments, but the problem is you can't have that turnover. You cannot have that turnover. It's impossible. So I cannot give him a break today on that. I can't give him a break on the season that he is having a problem in the middle with the underneath guy. They are baiting his ass every time now, and that's 3 times already. So unacceptable. Peter German, McDermott called the game like he wanted to keep McDaniel as Miami's coach. Robert Cowell, they always find a way to make it sting even more. Oh, crazy stuff. With that said, what a job by Weaver and the defensive staff. Much love. Oh, thank you, Robert. And, Weaver did, considering what little he has, he did good. He gave a chance to his team to win. Unfortunately, I'm not going to blame Weaver for Seiler's mistake. You know what I mean? And I can't blame Weaver for Tua's mistake. And I can't blame Weaver for offensive linemen that are downfield when they're not supposed to, killing drives. And I can't blame Weaver stupid play calls by Mike McDaniel. You know what I mean? So that's the tough part. Once again, Steve M. Hateful Steve, there's 2 times we cringe with Tua. One when he runs, the other when the game is on the line. You just know he's going to fold like a cheap suit. As usual, he does enough to stay competitive, but not enough to win. Didn't win, right? So that's exactly what happened today. Peter German, sad. It took McDaniel 1 day from being fired to call a balanced game. Too little, too late. Still don't trust Ross to do the right thing. Tua looks like he's at happy feet because he doesn't trust. He's got happy feet. He does not trust the line at all. There is no doubt that it's in his head right now. Okay? No doubt it's in his head. And it's leading to a lot of these mistakes. So it's a shitty line, unfortunately. And it's not coached well because you don't run enough, which would be less pressure on your quarterback. And you'd loosen up the defense a little bit more, but whatever. Anthony Lizzie, thank you. Every time I see your name, Lizzie, I just think of the Warriors. I just think of the Warriors, and when is it Herman or Hermit or whatever his nickname is on it, and he said, "What's the name of this outfit?" And the chick looks at him and says, "We're the Lizzies." I always remember that. That's what I always remember, Anthony. Every time I see your name, I remember of the chick gang from the Warriors, the Lizzies. Anyway, he says mental error so disappointing. Sealer, Tua, and then McDaniel not running there on first down when you were gaining yards and needed to run the clock. Can't win like that. It's so effing old. It is, isn't it, Anthony? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Steve M wants to say Tua's a bum, a $50 million a year bum. And then he goes, he sent in another one. Thank you, Hateful Steve. He sent in several today. Your star QB threw a jump ball into double coverage to a short receiver. What a stud. You're wrong on that one. There's jump balls thrown all the time. He had the ball. He should have caught it. Don't blame Tua for that. Blame him for the interception. Okay? Blame him for that. Blame him for an overthrow or something that he had an overthrow in one play that was bad. You can blame him for the mistakes he made. That one's all on Tyreek, dude. That you're wrong there, Steve. You're absolutely wrong there every day and twice on Sundays. That throw, there's lots of jump balls that are thrown in the NFL, Steve. I'm not sure if you watch a lot of NFL games. Not sure. But there's lots of jump balls that are thrown. And the receiver's got to go out and make a play. He had every opportunity to make a play and went right through his hands, dude. He should have caught that ball. It's a jump ball. When you guys see an almost interception, you talk about it, right? Well, how come you don't talk about an almost catch? Interesting, right? When they drop a surefire interception from a quarterback or Tua, you say, oh, yeah, but Tua almost threw that interception. Well, Tua threw that bomb, and Tyreek should have caught it. And maybe that also changes the game too. See, these are things that are just not fair on your part, Steve. You can slam Tua, bro. Slam him for the shit that he does. That deep ball, that's all on Tyreek. The ball was there for Tyreek to make a play. Make a play. Dude, they're paying him $30 million. Make a play. Catch the ball. And by the way, it was 2 balls that he dropped. And then also he falls after they pull on his shirt. He's like a weeble wobble that falls down. That was embarrassing. It wasn't like he lost his balance on that. Ruined that play. Bag on head, thank you for the love on Venmo. On that, and by the way, they got away with a penalty on that one. On that long pass to Hill, Tyreek treated the ball like it was a court summons. Man, I'm tired of losing. Tua has to own a big share of this one. See, that's what I love, bag on head. He blamed Tyreek for what Tyreek deserves to be blamed for, and then he blames Tua for what he deserves to be blamed for. But when you have a bias against somebody, and if you blame Tua for the deep ball, your bias is exposed, dude. You know, like that's just wrong on every level. That's your bias right there, Hateful Steve. because you blame him for the other stuff. Don't blame him for the ball that Tyreek should have caught. He should have caught it. Thank you guys out there, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Lenny the Locksmith. Thank you for the love on Cash App, sir. Says if he doesn't fire McDaniel, he doesn't give a shit. Yeah, that's basically it. If he doesn't fire McDaniel, he doesn't give a shit. That's what you're telling me, Stephen Ross. I mean, you were there in the box. You have your binoculars. Are you watching how undisciplined your team is? How your coach just can't coach or clean game? I mean, it's up to you, dude. Caesar Zola, thank you for the love on Cash App. We always encourage Cash App or Venmo because we give 100% of the donation on YouTube. We love the super chats. Don't get us wrong, but YouTube takes 30%. So we try to encourage to send your questions and comments and donations and insults over on Cash App and Venmo. Caesar Zola, you have 3 good running backs. Take advantage of that. Can you be the coach, Caesar? Please? Pretty please? All right, Sean. Let's get to the super chats here. Get to folks' questions, comments, complaints, insults, all kinds of stuff. All right, here we go. Are we back with another episode of Who Would You Rather Be, a Miami Dolphin fan or McDaniel's biker shorts after he bike rides 1,000 miles out of this town because we all know he wears biker shorts, no bulge. Man, I listen, AZ, thank you for the love on the super chat. We really appreciate it. I hope they do the right thing and do what's right for the team, for the fan base. Get rid of this guy. Just get rid of this guy. And what you saw tonight had nothing to do with McDaniel. It had to do with the pure professionalism of the players. They played hard and they played for themselves. And they tried to win and stay in this game for themselves. They did not do it for McDaniel. Okay? Maybe that's PR crap that they'll give the writers or something so they can write that cheesy ass stuff. But they played for themselves. Next up. It is no doubt at least we got to see Ollie abandon the run at the end when it was working. Bye-bye, Mike. Can't argue with no doubt. Appreciate you, my brother. Let's see what else. Jamie, don't even let McDaniel do the interview. Give him the walking papers now. Weaver isn't safe either. Also, goodbye, Greer. Well, the Greer stuff, personal stuff, like I told you, that's later. And Weaver actually did a good job today, bro. I'm sorry. Disagree with you. He did more than with what he has, which is not much. It's pretty good. Next up. Giovanni, thank you, my brother. At least they didn't embarrass themselves, which is very true. But the losing malaise of a team for decades always ends up on the wrong side of the scoreboard in the end. Thanks, for doing the show again together tonight, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it. And by the way, live line, did you watch it? So it was minus 11.5, right, in the game. And Dolphins got the ball and scored. Did you guys catch the line after that? It was Bills minus 5.5 for a little bit, and then it went right to 6.5. And then as the Bills drove, and then it climbed back. So anybody that waited for the live line to drop to 5.5 and 6.5 for the Bills got a gift. Next up. It is Johnny. Bills were sleepwalking through this one, honestly. At the start, I think they didn't come in with that same kind of fire, and then they kind of like, yeah, I agree with you. I don't think they played with urgency. I don't think the Dolphins demanded that from them. I agree with you on that. I think they kind of went about it and did enough to win and coasted. I agree with you. Yeah. Yes. No doubt. Good one, sir. Next up. It is Brandon Meadows, longtime supporter of you, Big O. I know Tua's your boy, but this is the first time he's thrown a pick in 3 straight games. He's not who he once was. No, right now he's playing bad, bro. He's playing bad. And it's not that. It's not just the 3 picks. It's the way the picks are happening. Okay? They're baiting his ass in those picks. And he's falling for it like a rookie, dude. He's not really, his eyes, because of the line, he's skittish. So he's not really focused in on everything that he normally is. And that's why he's getting burned. And he's not good enough to do that. So he's got to be very disciplined with his eyes. And his eyes right now are going a little too fast because he's got happy feet and he's worried about the line. He's playing like shit. He's playing like shit. There's no two ends about it. There's no way of describing anything else that Tua is doing right now. This season, he's playing like shit. He's playing without confidence. His vision sucks right now. And he's off at times, which he's off more than he normally is. What's his completion percentage for the year? Where's it at? I'm interested to see that because he's always had a shitty line. He went over 70% last year with a shitty line. So he still has a shitty line. Let me see where his completion percentage is at the moment. I'm sure it's in the 60s, but it's probably not in the 70s. Let's see. Jesus Christ. He's still 72%. Is that true? Is that right? Let me see. Let me hit this to make sure. That's amazing that he's still there. And he's missed a lot. He has not played well, dude. He just has not played well. And I can't defend it. There's no way I can defend it. I can defend a lot of the crap that goes around it that contributes to why he's not playing well, but those interceptions are his decisions. And even if you're being pressured, then don't put it in harm's way. You know what I mean? That's his job. So I can't give him a break and will not. Dude, he's at 72. Well, 2 games played. I'm sorry. Hold on. They haven't added this one. And I think he was at 64% tonight. So that may lower it to just under 70. But still, it's still pretty high. And that's amazing. He's got a pretty high percentage. And he hasn't played well at all. At all. There's no excuses for Tua this year. Next up. Roberto Cardosa. This was the worst thing that could have happened. Tua is the problem. Done with him. Greer, McDaniel, and Stephen Ross. A broken record, I know. I appreciate it, Robert. Everybody wants all those guys out. I know that, bro. I know you guys want Ross to sell. I know you want Greer out. I know you want McDaniel fired. I know you want Tua traded. And Tua won't be till next year, as I keep telling you guys over and over and over and over and over again. Next up. What do we got? Mario, are you still sold on Tua being our franchise QB? No, not on this team, not with this coach. No, not at all. You can't run this offense with him. No, not at all. He's better off moving on after next season. Better off. If you're going to keep this shitty coaching around, he has no chance at succeeding, bro. None whatsoever. You can't play behind this kind of an offense. Nobody can, by the way. I'm sorry. I must have missed it. What's been going on before Tua? I don't know. You tell me. What was going on before Tua? 8,000 quarterbacks that couldn't play at all? You know, whatever, dude. I'm fine. I get it. You want Tua out? So do I. I don't want him here anymore. I want him to go somewhere else where maybe he has a chance. He doesn't stand. We have shitty coaching here. We're a shitty franchise. What I'm sorry. I must have missed it. What quarterback succeeded here? Okay, thanks for playing. Next up. You Jagoffs sound like every quarterback has success here except Tua. I mean, really, like, get a freaking clue. Next up. What do you got there, Sean?
I did a little bit of math. Looks like about 68% for Tua on the season if everything was right.
And that's still amazing. And he's played like shit. 68 is amazing, and he's played like shit. So, but, hey, let's get rid of all our quarterbacks always kick ass. We always give all of our quarterbacks a great environment. Tua is the only guy. All the guys since Marino were awesome. They were fantastic. They won playoff games. They went deep into the playoffs. They got to the Super Bowl. They were dominant. They were always winning big games in big moments. All the quarterbacks we had before Tua. Next up, Miami Zach. It's time to move on from Tua. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. Move Tua for sure. He's a failure here. Sam Cavison. If I was Seiler, I'd have thought, man, better be careful now because this game is on the line. But he decided to give the ball. No, he didn't, bro. I mean, that's ridiculous, dude. He's trying to make a play. The man is frustrated. Watch what's going on in the games. They double him, and they just toy with whoever's next to him because the kids are not ready yet. And he's trying to make plays, but he's getting doubled all the time. So now he breaks free, and he thinks he has a shot at it, and he thinks he's an athlete and all that kind of stuff, and it backfires on him. I am not slamming Zach Seiler, bro. I'm not shitting on somebody that's been absolutely phenomenal for your team. I can't do that. I think that's a terrible fan, to be quite honest. If people are going out to trash Seiler, Brent, you people are terrible, bro. He's been awesome, and you really don't follow football, and you really don't understand what's going on. He doesn't have anybody next to him to take any pressure off. It's so easy to scheme against this defense right now. It's really easy because those defensive tackles are young and they're not ready yet. And it usually takes a while for defensive tackles to kind of figure it out. You fall in love with preseason. You people pay attention too much to writers who also fall in love with the preseason. That means absolutely nothing. You have to stop with that, dude. You have to stop with that. So I feel terrible for Seiler. He's in a horrible spot. He's got a bunch of young guys next to him that aren't complimenting him at all. Not the way Norman Hand did, not the way Wilkins did, not the way Jenkins. He always had like another guy next to him that was a respectable player, that could actually hold their own, and then you couldn't double either guy. You know what I'm saying? Now it's just, all right, we know who the guy is. Let's make sure he doesn't hurt us, and then let's see if the Green Boys can actually, figure it out. And then that secondary is horrible. It's really not a good defense. And what Weaver did today is pretty good, but I'm not picking on Zach, man. I'm not picking on Zach. Zach is a pillar of stability. He's been awesome. He's been a terrific player, a great human being. The effort has never, ever lacked. He's as professional as it gets. Dude made a mistake. He had a bad night. There's no, dude, I'm in Seiler's camp, bro. I don't give up on people that easy, especially when they're good people, man. I don't like to do that. Next up. Edward Blasco, Big O, effing suck, and I'm sick of this. I know, bro. 45 years, I'm sick of it too, my friend. I'm with you, Edward. I'm with you, bro. Hang in there. Johnny, drafting in the Finns' biggest issues, should and could have Herbert throwing to Chase or protected by Sewell, but we got Waddle and Tua. Yeah. How many playoff games has Herbert won? Any championships? Is he going deep into the playoffs? I'm wondering. Just wondering. When he starts to win, then maybe we can regret it. But, meanwhile, I don't know. I haven't seen any winning yet at all. So when I see the winning, then we can have the regrets. How about that? Let's do that. First, let's see if you actually can win something. And if you win something, then you can regret. But meanwhile, I don't know. He's still an athletic Jeff George to me. Until proven otherwise, I see an athletic Jeff George. So check with me back when he actually wins something. Okay? When he gets to the playoffs and he wins, check with me then. And then we'll be all right. It's like the Lamar Jackson guys. Every year, we've been waiting for years now. Every year. Fantastic regular season. What happens in the postseason? Okay, well, whatever. Check back with me when, this will be the year, and this will be the year, and this will be the year. Okay, dude. Whenever it happens, it happens. Check back with me when he actually wins something, and then we can regret it. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you know what I regret? I regret not drafting Tristan Wirfs. That's who I wanted in the draft. I didn't want Tua because of the injury history, and I didn't want Herbert because he looks like a fucking choker to me. And so far, what's Herbert been? A choker. So I would have drafted Tristan Wirfs, who's actually in the 5 years that he's played, I know he's injured now, but in the 5 years he's played, he looks like a Hall of Famer already. So that would have been, you can go check the video. You know what I mean? I didn't, when they drafted Tua, I supported because I know the kid can pass, but you've got to run the right offense, and we've never figured that out. Next up, Justin Scheib. Get the message to Greer. Every O-line pick should be a cane. Mario Cristobal knows how to make an NFL lineman. I don't mind with that. Get me some of the Canes linemen. I can deal with that. Next up. But by the way, hold on a second. We get the lineman. Will the head coach run the ball? Or at least you'll protect the quarterback, but you got that right. All right, let's get back to Chet Miles. I believe we should shelve Achane until the reset. No, what you got to do is offset it a little bit more and run Ollie and use Achane more as a pass catcher. But we're idiots. We like to burn out a light back with running between the tackles. It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Next up, Leon Fresco. Buffalo deployed a preseason vanilla game plan, rested anyone remotely injured. Do not fall for fool's gold. The firing comes after Jets loss, which would be a huge mistake on their part. Huge mistake. We got to find out who the MVP of the night is. All right. And no better place to go with our friends at Moody's Dental.
Who's last night's MVP? There's only one MVP for your family's dental care.
Moody's Dental. Get your smile back at Moody's Dental. Visit them on Instagram at moodys.dental.
Here's our Moody's Dental MVP of the night.
Guess what? Guess who I'm going with? The guy that has been getting killed for the last week and a half, Anthony Weaver. Anthony Weaver, I'm going to give him my Moody's Dental MVP of the night. Why? We expected a blowout. We expected them to absolutely run all over, pass all over. It would be an absolute blowout. And it wasn't. And while at the beginning it got a little shaky, as the game went on, that defense got better. That defense found a way to make stops. That defense found a way to give the ball back to the offense and give them a chance. And in a really difficult situation with a very mediocre defense, I'm going to give Anthony Weaver a little love because he gave his team a chance. He gave his offense a chance because they didn't capitalize, whether because the coach did not run the right plays or the quarterback had a brutal ass turnover. And even with Seiler, okay, I'm not really going to blame Anthony Weaver for that individual because that was a special teams play. It wasn't a defensive play. So let's make sure we do that also, okay? That would be a, hey, where's Danny Crossman? That kind of thing. But in all seriousness, I want to give Anthony Weaver a little love because this was a really tough situation. And they needed a defense that could at least give them an opportunity. And I thought that his unit actually did that, considering how thin that unit is in so many areas. And by the way, Moody S Dental, man, get your smile back in Dade, 305-821-0231, in Plantation, 954-692-6825. Follow them on Instagram at moodius.dental, and you can get some discounts there. You can find out some information. And by the way, my entire family has been going to Moody S Dental for many years now. Invisaligns, dental implants, preventive care, cosmetic surgery. They do it all. Get your smile back with my friends at Moody S Dental.
The MVP of the night is brought to you by Moody S Dental.
From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams. To schedule an appointment in Dade, call 305-821-0231. In Broward, 954-692-6825. Follow them on Instagram at moodys.dental, providing MVP smiles every day of the year.
All right. We're back. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. And you can send your questions, comments, and insults there. Andrew Watson on Venmo. Thank you, sir. So frustrating to see the team always comes up short. Someone eventually will make a mental error and subvert an otherwise good effort. That's McDaniel. The sign of a snake-bitten team is mental weakness, and by God, it's one idiot after another from week to week. It effing sucks. You know, Andrew, every one of us feels your pain, your frustration, dude. Every single one of us, my brother. We all feel exactly what you feel. And thank you, my man. Appreciate you. Rice Taylor, in regard to Tua, the turnover was on him. Absolutely. Hells to the yeah. But I allow him one mistake, maybe two, if you can count the overthrow. But it's not like Hill and Tanner didn't make mistakes as well. Oh, for sure. I didn't think the mistakes take away from the fact he played well, in my opinion. Yeah, he played well, but you can't make that turnover. Cannot make that turnover. I can't give him a break. And I can't give him the break, Rise, because it's 3 times now. There's something going on there that the underneath defender is they're baiting his ass constantly. And so he has got to settle down with his eyes because his legs, his feet are moving. And that's his problem. And so he's got to be a little bit more patient on what's going on. Peter German, thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. Well, Big O, since I have to be on the Titanic, I'm glad I get to sync with you and Sean. Thank you, my man. I appreciate you. That's very kind of you. We will all sync together, man. You know, what can we do? All right, Sean, what do we got in the super chats? Don't forget, folks, smash the like button. Let's go. Let's get over 1,000. We got at 460. Let's go. We got 978 watching. Chris Perkins and David Feronis will be joining us shortly. Matthew Lean, classic. Mike run is working. Instead of let's call a jumpable pass play on 1st and 10, Mike McDaniel has to be the dumbest smart guy I've ever seen. He is, Matthew. He is, my friend. He is about the most frustrating dude out there. Next up, and thank you. Anthony Acosta, inconsistent in big moments, mentally unprepared. Mike McDaniel. But I wonder if that was like his slogan. Should be his slogan in life. Thank you, my brother. Next up, Johnny, y'all forgetting dropping the snap for the fumble. Yep. Also, and you notice he's worried. He's worried. And he's, you know, it's like he's worried. He does, his eyes are not concentrating. He is jittery. And it's getting to him. You can tell. He's rattled right now back there. He is not settled like he normally is. Yeah, he's not playing well, dude. There's no excuses. You're on target. Next up. JIO. Oh, you think the season is over? It's time to tank. Did you listen to the offseason? You know that I had the season over before it started, right? You know that I have the coach getting fired and they're not going to the playoffs. I had them at 7 and 10. That was my final prediction. But throughout the offseason, I pretty much said expect a bad year. You know what I mean? I was strongly criticized for that because I was being honest. But I'm being Mr. Negative, so I can't be honest with people. Next up. What do we got? Man of 1,005 holds. 3-0, 3-0, 1-2, 0-3. This is the decline, Mr. For the first 3 games every season, he needs to go. Tua with another interception. Sealer with a boo-boo. Yep. I like that. Sealer with a boo-boo. I like that. Like, he made a mistake, but let's not fry his ass. He doesn't deserve it. Sealer does not. Tua deserves all your criticism. Every ounce of it. Sealer does not. Next up. Humble legend. Same way RG3 was never the same after his leg injury, Tua is never going to be the same after his head injuries. Time we accept it. You never know. Could be that. I did talk about this during the week. If you're Tua, you see what a disaster it is. And you know, okay, I'm stuck here till next year for sure because they cannot do anything with me. So do I protect myself as much as possible? Do I worry about the pass rush and all that kind of stuff and all that? Although today he made plays by extending, which you guys say no. He ran for a first down, which you guys say he never does, you know. So he did some of the things that they say he never does, actually. He had to extend a couple of plays because, of course, you have a shitty offensive line. They flush you out. So you just wonder if there's a part of him that also says, you know what, for the next 2 years, I need to kind of take care of myself so I can get out of here in one piece and go somewhere else to succeed. Just saying. They do it in the Marlins. Other players do it. I mean, Jalen Ramsey wasn't paying attention. He looked at it and goes, this is a clown show. I'm walking off I'm done with practice. You know, lots of players look out for themselves. Why wouldn't Tua? After what you've experienced with these two coaches, this one's completely inept. Doesn't really compliment you. And then you had the other guy that completely hated you and wanted to do anything to ruin your career. So if there's a part of me that maybe Tua's now like this because he's like, you know what, dude, I'm going to take care of myself here. I'm going to try to get the hell out of here in one piece. And it's going to be hard for him to survive in one piece through this season and next season, but we'll see. We'll see. It's bad, bro. It's bad. Next up. Don't forget, smash the like button. Hit the like button. Bag on head. Gordon should have been running on the early downs, at least 20 carries. HN needs to play the Tony Nathan role, play action off the running game. You want to be a coach? You want to be a coach? Because you get it. This idiot doesn't, but you get it. Next up. Thank you, Bag on Head, for having some damn common sense because our coach doesn't. Edward Thurston Howe. Actually, Sealer almost blocking the punt is amazing in itself. Usually a smaller, faster guys block the punts. I know. It's just wrong on any of us to pick on Sealer. Just wrong. He screwed up, dude. He deserves – we have to give mulligans to human beings. You guys do know that, right? Like when people are good and they're constantly contributing and they're great at what they do and they're good people, that's what Zach Sealer has been. And, you know, I'm not abandoning that guy because he made a mistake. And I'm not going to call him out. Yeah, it was brutal, dude. It was brutal. But, you know, he's good with me, bro. He's good with me. Next up. We have Johnny. It's coming from Herbert. Bank on it. Okay, I've been hearing the same thing on Lamar Jackson. Is that coming too? Which one's going to be? Is it going to be Lamar or is it going to be Justin Herbert? Which one's it going to be? Next up. Johnny, you wouldn't want Lamar Jackson? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't want Lamar Jackson. What for? They can only run, and when they get to the playoffs, he shits his pants. Dude, look at all the look. He's got John Harbaugh. He's got a defense. He's got a hell of an offensive line. He's got a hell of a running game. They gave him even Derrick Henry this time around. They always give him all kinds of tight ends. The guy has all kinds of weapons. And he's a weapon himself. And all he has to do is finish it by passing, and he can't. So, no, I don't want him. No, I don't. Only John Harbaugh would run this offense. Nobody else in the NFL would run a run-oriented offense. So it's a fun regular season. Lamar Jackson is the greatest regular season player there is. But it's not about the regular season, bro. So if you want to get entertained with the regular season, then yeah, bring him over. We'll run a lot and not win in the playoffs. Oh, I'm sorry. This will be the year. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I'll keep waiting. When it happens, then we'll talk about it. But this will be the year, you're telling me. Okay. Next up. Mario, who's a bigger choker, Tua or Herbert? Herbert. Tua has the championship. What does Herbert have? Checkmate. Sorry, bro. You know? Last time I checked, Herbert hasn't won a goddamn thing. Tua won the championship. You lost that one, huh? Thanks for the donation. Next up. Alexander Rene Davis. McDaniel's such a shitty head coach. Everything behind the loss on how you keep McDaniel and Tua after this. I'm beyond frustrated. Ridiculous. I get you, bro. I get you. Totally get you. Next up. That guy didn't know that Tua won a championship and that Herbert's never won anything? That's interesting. Marco Guilleng, longtime listener, first-time contributor, and thank you, sir. The Finns' loss was expected. Tua doesn't currently instill confidence, and McDaniel has failed again after 4 years. Appreciate you, Big O. Yeah. No, Tua right now lacks confidence. Yeah. Something's going on with Tua. There's no doubt. He's playing like shit. Next up, Tony Martinez. Remember, folks, we love the super chats, but damn, YouTube takes 30% away. So we encourage Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can send your Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donations. Tony Martin, the receiver. Nice to have you. I remember covering your money laundering case. You kept me in a damn courthouse for 3 days. 3 days. 14-hour days. Damn, Tony. That's Martin, not Martinez. Big O, Tua took the slide on his run for the first down. Looks like he learned on the bright side. He played good until the interception. Yeah, he made all the right decisions, Tony, until he didn't. Yeah, he did. It was a game where he was solid, dude, and he just screwed it up. Yeah. Next up, Chris Johnson. That's the second time we run into the punter when the game is about on the line and was about to swing in our momentum. I know. It's disgusting. And the lineman downfield, it ruined a couple of really good plays, dude. Just the undiscipline. It drives you crazy, doesn't it? Let me go to Venmo here. Stephen Baker on Venmo. He says, another thing on Tua and coaching. Tua said in postgame after Colts game, his feet were telling him things. He's not thinking properly, coaching or system. Either way, bad coaching. Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. It's got him completely off kilter. I'm with you there. Jeffrey Anthony, thank you for the love on Venmo. That Seilers mistake is as much on McDaniel. Why call a punt block there? We made the same mistake versus the Colts. One team committed to the run tonight. The other didn't and lost. Nobody can argue with that. Thank you, Jeffrey. Appreciate you. All right, Sean, what you got next here on the super chats? Chet Miles, still stupid penalties. Is Tyreek in another case? Well, no, he's got the whole thing with his wife and the, divorce and the whole, what's it called? whatever, hitting her and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. That stuff usually drags on. It'll probably be next year or something. He won't even be on the team by the time that stuff is settled, probably. Next up, Anthony Foliaco. Did Anthony W. make effing good case for head coach? I mean, I was a Weaver guy from the get-go. Let's make the change. Let's have him be the CEO and move forward. I still, I'm still with it. And I thought Anthony Weaver did a really good job today, and he gave his team a chance to win. So, and he took a lot of heat from a lot of you out there. Next up, it is Antonio Ingram with the first pick in the NFL draft. The Miami Dolphins select. I don't know, man. I don't know. I got to see how the rest of the season plays out. Who's healthy, who's not. What's the QB that played well? Because obviously you'll probably have Tua for the next year, and that's it, and you'll move on. So, yeah, I don't know. Could be a lineman. I have no idea. It's so early right now. I am not even thinking about that right now. Maybe we will in a couple more months because, the college season just started. So we have to see who makes it through the season, who played well, who's healthy, all those kind of things. Next up. Chat again. What college player you want if we're a top 5 pick? I can't. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not going to give you an educated guess here. I just don't. By the way, I'd be remiss if I did not mention that you should be Big E strong and support our guy Ian. He's going through a tough time, man. And it's our job to support him. He's got a lot of medical bills, going through a lot. And you can use the information there on the billboard and reach out to the Sports Babe and Lou and make your donation and get your Big E Strong band and join us, man. All right, let's support one of the best human beings on the planet. Forget about a Dolphin fan of the year and all that other stuff. This is one of the best human beings on the planet. Okay. All right, we are a better place because Ian is here. So let's make sure, and let's support him and let's get him through this with love, support, and prayer. All right. Next up, we've got Nick. Imagine if Ross took the Dolphins seriously, like he takes his real estate empire seriously. I see no urgency in him to win a Super Bowl. Well, you know what, Nick? Your examples are all there for you, and nobody can argue with you. You know what I mean? He'll spend, but the problem is there are things that he doesn't do right, and this is one of them. I mean, the fact that he extended McDaniel. Like, do you pay attention to what you're watching? It's your team. Why would you extend McDaniel? That was stupid, and that's the only reason why we're in this mess. If they didn't extend him, they would have fired his ass already. And they should fire him tomorrow morning. And let's see if they do. Let's see if they're smart enough. And if they don't, like I'm telling you, like I've been talking for a while, I'm not sure that he's Chris Greer's guy. Because if I'm Chris Greer, there's no way I'm keeping him. I have 14 more games to go. I have a much better chance with Weaver and Bevel as my OC. I'd rather have Bevel as my OC. He'll commit to the run, I'm sure. Something that this guy won't do. So, I don't know, man. This doesn't make any sense to me, what's going on. Next up. Frankie Fresco. Big O Messi has won for Argentina, but nothing for Inter Miami. So why don't you apply that same concept with Tua? Who cares that he won in Bama? Yeah, I know, but the team hasn't won anything in 45 years. Again, Frankie, I appreciate the donation, okay? Show me the quarterbacks between Marino and Tua. What was so impressive? Who was winning? Who's overcoming everything that we have going on? I'm sorry, what are the quarterbacks in between Marino and Tua that led the NFL in yards and in touchdowns and in completion percentage? Tell me, what are the quarterbacks in between Tua and Marino that were in the MVP race? Just mentioned, because he was in the MVP race a couple times. Mentioned in that group. I'm just wondering. You tell me. With a shitty coach that can't run and he refuses to really focus on the offensive line, the guy has been in the MVP race. I'm just like, you guys all make it sound like all of our quarterbacks between Marino and Tua were phenomenal. Just who? I'm just wondering who. Since you're so confident, because there was nothing before him. So, no, listen, I'm with you guys now. I want him gone. Now, for different reasons. I want him gone from here because nobody will succeed here. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed that, Frankie, but no quarterback succeeds here. You do that. You do know that, right, Frankie? Even Marino couldn't succeed here. With all the talent in the world that Marino had, he couldn't win anything big here. So if Marino couldn't win anything big here, and Tua has at least been in the mix, but everything else has been completely in the abyss. Yeah. I can't wait for him to leave. I'm with you for different reasons, but I can't wait for him to leave. Cannot wait. I hope he goes somewhere. Hell, I hope they can figure out a way to take the cap hit and restructure completely next year in the offseason and see if they can trade him away. I would love to see that. Oh, you know what? We're going to speed this up, or we're going to take a $30 million cap hit and we're going to trade him. Go ahead. Dude, I would love that. Love it. Yeah, I want him out of here too. I'm with you, bro. All the way. Next up. Daniel Barrio. I mean, Tua has been the worst quarterback we've ever had here. All of our quarterbacks are so awesome. They're all in the Ring of Honor. Big O has always been a Tua defender, but this year something seems different. Does he seem more? Well, I think I've talked about it, Daniel. I appreciate it, but yes, I have. I already talked about it. There's no doubt he is playing scared now with his feet and his eyes. That's why he's throwing those interceptions. He's not taking the time to really read the field. He's panicking and getting rid of it and not paying attention to everything that's there, which he normally does. Next up. That's it. All right. We had caught up to the super chats. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation as always. Our friends at Cutter's Edge Pro, they do fantastic work out there. And they are the ones that you need to call to improve when it comes to your landscaping, your home situation. You got to call my friend, William Quigley at Cutter's Edge Pro. And the question is, who is our Cutter's Edge Pro difference maker of the game?
Who brought the edge? Who changed the game? Who is our Cutter's Edge Pro difference maker? When you want to give your home or business the edge, call Cutter's Edge Pro in South Florida for all your landscape solutions. Here's our Cutter'sEdgePro.com difference maker.
You know what my difference maker is? Today, the Miami Dolphins run game. That was the difference maker. That was the reason why you were in the game. That's the reason why some of your best drives were part of the running game. And today, the Miami Dolphins went 25 times for 130 yards. So the boys were averaging over 5 yards a carry. They picked up a touchdown. Devon Achane went 12 for 62. We finally saw Ollie Gordon, and he's the one that produced the touchdown. And he went 9 times for 38. there's no doubt I would have liked to have seen more of Ali running, less of Achane running, and use Achane in the passing game more is what I'd rather. The overuse of Achane, he had 7 receptions for 29 yards. Is that productive? Well, maybe if you give him less carries, give him only 3 or 4 or 5 carries, and you give him more passes and you torture them with Ollie Gordon instead, maybe you might get a little bit more. And maybe it'll help your offensive line and even your passing game too. But, William Quigley and company have been at it here in South Florida for a long time, AAA rating. And they've got like over 70 trucks here in South Florida, Dade, Broward, Palm Beach counties. And it doesn't matter what it is, tree trimming, landscape design, outdoor lighting, irrigation, synthetic turf. By the way, my dogs love the synthetic turf. We've had it for over 3 years now. So whatever you need, full landscape design, they can work and create it for you. Reach out to our friends at Cutter's Edge Pro, 954-472-0622, and tell William Quigley that Big O sent you. Our Dolphins running game. It's nice. That's the kind of edge we want. That's our Cutter's Edge Pro, difference maker of the game.
The Cutter's Edge Pro Difference Maker is brought to you by CuttersEdgePro.com, servicing HOAs, condominiums, townhomes, commercial properties, corporate parks, malls throughout South Florida. CuttersEdgePro.com, providing South Floridians the edge every day of the year.
All right. All right, man. Tell you. What do we got here? What do we got? What's on here? Johnny, should I get Bitcoin or am I too late? No, you're not late. Do you have patience, Johnny? Do you have patience? Are you going anywhere? What if I told you you're going to 10 to 15x in the next 5 years by 2030? You good with that? Then buy and sit, relax, let it go. Just watch the trajectory for 16 years. It went from 8 zeros behind a penny, and we're at 117,000. You do the math, and it's finite. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Never have been, never will be. But just see what we've told you for 6 years, and we were talking about it at 16,000, and we're at 117. So 100,000 up. You don't get caught up in the daily, weekly, or even monthly volatility. What you do with that is you actually take advantage. So if there's a 10, a 15, a 20% dip, that's what you buy because it's going to go shoot right past the old number, which this one is 124. Right now, you're going to go past that. So that's what I would do. Anyway, let's see. Oh, the Perkman is first up. Let's get to it with our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins postgame show.
Time to go to the locker room, Miami Dolphins fans. Let's find out what's percolating with the one and only Chris Perkins in our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins postgame report.
All right, Percolator. How are you doing, my brother?
Hey, Big O, I'm a little relieved, man. I might be able to play some golf, weather permitting, as opposed to doing a coaching search this weekend. So how about that? How about starting with that? That's good.
I got to tell you something. I think it's irresponsible if they don't fire him, to be quite honest. I've seen this before. Mm-hmm. I don't credit him at all. I credit the professionalism of the players' effort tonight. I really commend Weaver, who his back is up against the wall. He's got so much weakness on his defense. He actually gave his team a chance to win tonight, overall. The unpreparedness of the team, the mistakes, the linemen, downfield ruining a couple plays, the Tua turnover and the Seiler mistake, and then the inconsistencies of Mike McDaniel's play calls, where you started with the run and then you abandon, and then you go back to it and you abandon. And it's habitual what I see under Mike McDaniel. And tonight's result I commend the players, but to me, I'd still make the change.
Yeah, I wouldn't make the change, Big O. Look, this is what we've seen from Mike his whole time. And I thought that he came out and at least did try to run the ball. I thought that was a positive. Look, Weaver's run defense allows another 100-yard rushing performance by an opponent. That's not good. There's mistakes all around. I mean, Seiler makes his mistake on special teams. I mean, he knocks Reed Ferguson on his butt, the brother of Blake Ferguson, the Dolphins former long snapper. But I think at that point, Seiler couldn't stop. I think he's going over Reed Ferguson, and I think he sees that he has a chance to block the punt. So, really that's on Zach. And look, that has nothing to do with Mike McDaniel. On the interception, you're down to your third team guard, Daniel Brunskill. He whiffs on the block, and Deion Walker is right into his face. That's not on Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel is responsible for the Zach Seiler and the Daniel Brunskill, but it's not directly his fault. It's his responsibility. It's not his fault. It's like I say, if your kid throws a rock through the neighbor's window, it's your responsibility. It might not be your fault. So I thought that Mike McDaniel actually did his best job of the season. The players were in a good mindset. They could have been down. He came out and he did call a pretty good game. He could have done the normal Mike McDaniel thing of trying to force the ball downfield. I thought there was too much, Devon Achane passing to the east and west as opposed to downfield passing. I think that's where you miss a tight end like Jonnu Smith, though, who could get you 8 or 12 yards on a reception. But, overall, I do think that this game takes a lot of pressure off the team. It takes a lot of pressure off Mike McDaniel. And now you go into the Jets game and the Carolina game, and you could be 2-3. You could really improve some of the things that haunted you earlier. Now, look, the fact is,
hold on a second. Weren't they supposed to be 2-0 to start?
They were. Yeah, they were.
So we're now going to assume just because they had a decent outing today, they're going to win the next two.
I'm not assuming. I'm saying you have a good chance to be 2-3. Look, Big O. The season, to me, I thought they were going to win 9 games. I didn't think they were going to make the playoffs. Okay, so you're still headed for more mediocrity. But right now, at least there's hope. There's a chance that you can do some good things if it was 0-3 with a blowout, you would have to make the change. But at least this takes a little pressure off. This gives you some hope. This gives the players some hope. It gives McDaniel some hope. The outcome is still going to be the same, Big O, mediocrity.
You see that this is a team that's only regressed under his leadership. This is the worst start of his career. And this is, by the way, this is a man that's never overcome adversity. Never.
Well, look, Big O, I've been saying that none of this should be a surprise, right? I mean, since December of 2022, when they went out on the West Coast with that 8-3 record,
right,
they've been exposed, right? And we saw it since Tennessee in 2023. I believe they're now 10-14. I know, but this is the time for all of that has passed. Now you're in with Mike McDaniel. Weaver's defense has not done anything great this whole season, right?
But today they did enough. Today they did enough.
I disagree, Big O. You've allowed at least 31 points in all 3 games this year and 4 games going back to last season. I don't see how you say the defense did enough.
If the special teams didn't screw up, and if Tua doesn't give up the interception, you're in a completely different chance to win that game. And the defense, at least, Perk, here's where you and I differ on this. The defense did enough for what it has. If you were expecting a shutout or limiting them,
no.
With that shit talent, you're out of your freaking mind. So what Weaver has to work with, which is dog shit outside of pass rushers, he has dog shit to work with. He gave them a chance. But if it wasn't for offensive linemen going downfield, Tua's interception, Seiler's special teams mistake, you would have had a shot to win that game. And that's because the defense gave you a chance.
See, I disagree. I think the front seven has been the biggest disappointment on the team. You give up another 100-yard rushing game. You let Josh Allen deal all over you, right? I mean, the flip for the touchdown pass. I mean,
Perk. Let me ask you something, my brother.
Yeah.
Outside of pass rushers, what do you have on this team? Do you have run stuffers?
You should be doing better against the run, Big O. Look,
are you watching the film? Because all they're doing
yes,
doubling Sealer. They're doubling Sealer, pushing him out of the way.
I know.
And they're handling the baby defensive tackles. And so the easiest way to attack this defense is running and a short passing game, which is what you saw a lot of. And you have no pass rush against that. There is no pass rush. And even saying that, they still have 5 sacks overall as a team, which puts them in the middle of the pack in the NFL. But this team is really easy to actually attack because Weaver doesn't have certain pieces that he can't do anything about it, dude.
But Big O, they're missing tackles. You saw that Ramondre Stevenson 21-yard run. Yes. You saw Terrell Dotson miss the tackle, right? You saw Minka miss the tackle on both of those. You saw on the 3rd and 13, you saw Dante Trader miss a tackle, right? These are missed tackles. That's on Weave.
Hey,
I'm a Weaver fan, Big O.
Who the fuck is Dante Trader?
He's your rookie. He's the rookie who you have out there starting.
You said it. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
He's supposed to do shit like that. You put him in that position, that's your fault. Okay? Because you don't have anything. Dante Trader cannot be held to any standard because he hasn't set a damn standard. The other guys you mentioned, when Minka misses a tackle, okay, that's something but Dante Trader, who the hell is Dante Trader? He may even be a flash in the pan that doesn't even belong in this league. We don't even know who Dante Trader is. He may be a player, but right now he's just Dante Trader. He's nothing.
He's a guy who the Dolphins decided they were going to change their philosophy, right? They're going to win with draftees and youth. So I don't want to hear excuses for Jonah. I don't want to hear excuses for Kenneth Grant. I don't want to hear excuses for Ollie Gordon, Dante Trader, Zeke Biggers. None of them. They're out there.
But they can say whatever they want. Don't you look at your eyes and say,
you're a rookie? I know.
Okay, so they can tell me all they want about chemistry and all that, and I laughed at their asses. There's no chemistry in the preseason. Oh, we're going away for 11 days and bonding.
This has nothing to do with that.
And then when I look at your roster, you ain't winning no games. I picked you 7-10, and I was being nice.
But Big O, I'm talking about
sucks, Perk.
Yes, look, Big O, you with your starters, you have enough to win 9 games. Now, obviously, injuries are going to happen in this league, and you win a lot of games on your reserves. I thought the reserves are what helped them in 2022 and 2023 because you're going to have injuries. This is the NFL. You have to rely on some of your backups. Now, obviously, they're backups for a reason, and obviously, rookies can't be expected to make the same plays as veterans, but I'm talking about basic stuff, right? Jonah being illegally downfield, right? Trader not missing a tackle. That's you've got to correct that kind of stuff. You can't do that. Jonah has done that twice, right?
Paul Soliak took 3 years to figure it out at defensive tackle. This happens all the time with defensive tackles. They take a year or two to figure it out. Once in a while, you'll get a freak that you take really early in the draft, and maybe he can, shake things up. But most of the time, when you take these kind of defensive tackles late in the first round or later rounds, these guys take a while to grow, dude.
It's gonna take time, but the stuff that I'm talking about, illegally being downfield and missing the tackle, this is basic football stuff. Now, when you talk about learning how to hold your ground in a double team or learning how to pick up twists and stunts, okay, I understand that. This is basic stuff. Not being downfield, that applies in college. Making a tackle, that applies in college. Those things are directly translatable. I don't give you a whole lot of time to make the transition on that kind of stuff. You're right. This is not a good roster. It's a roster set up for mediocrity.
Yeah,
but But I'll tell you this: I don't know that any of these coaches have done a great job. Whether you're talking, and I'm a Weaver fan, but I look at this front seven; they've been a big disappointment.
I never said a great job. I just said today, his defense gave them a chance to win. That's all. That's it.
I mean, they did. But look, Big O. I mean, now you've had they are 0-5 up in Buffalo under McDaniel. And
0-6 since 2007. 0-7 now since 2017. So,
but I just count the McDaniel era, and you're 0-5 up here, and 3 of the games have been 3-point games. The other 2 are 48-20 and 31-21. I mean, you've had a chance to win 4 of the games. The defense has given you a chance, and look, let's say what we need to say here. Josh Allen carved them up again. And that's always the common denominator. I know he's a stud, right? We can all agree on that.
You saw the comeback against the Ravens, right?
Yep.
What he did today ain't shit, dude.
Nope.
I think the Bills coasted tonight. I don't even think they. I think they played in third gear tonight.
Yeah, and they had the missed field goal, which you could say was a factor also. But yeah, they did. They didn't. This wasn't a great game for them. Yeah, this wasn't a great game.
They never got to 4th and 5th gear.
Yeah,
they never got to
5th
gear. They didn't have.
I would agree.
They didn't have to.
Well, I mean, look, I was
smart, tough, conservative game. They didn't take any chances. They didn't have to because they weren't playing an opponent that was going to run away from it or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, the Dolphins played their best game of the year and still lost by 10. So that so we know that there's nothing special in for the Dolphins. But to get back to your point, I don't think that a coaching change is needed at this point. Now, again, this team is not going anywhere. We can all agree on that. This team is not going anywhere, but I think McDaniel has earned the right to continue coaching this team. We'll see how he is going into that, trying to get the order straight, Baltimore, Buffalo, Washington stretch, because after that, that's when things get tough going into that stretch. What is that, starting in week 9 or whatever that is? But, Big O, he saved his job tonight. He saved his job tonight.
One big thing. Tua has lost complete confidence in the line. He is playing with happy feet. The happy feet are leading to eyes that are not seeing the field. And 3 weeks in a row, he's getting baited by the underneath cover guy. 3 weeks in a row. He's playing scared football. He is not concentrating. And he is not even playing like he normally does. Those interceptions he would have never thrown. Something's going on there, dude, and it's bad.
Tua is becoming a major concern because, we're seeing a lot of times where it looks like he could throw downfield and make some plays downfield, and he's not looking, he's not seeing that stuff. He's scared to cross the line of scrimmage with the ball in his hands, although he did have that nice run and slide tonight. But he just looks like a quarterback who has lost a lot of confidence in his
plays. Even when he extended the plays, it was like he was extending them because he was running for his life.
Right. Correct. He's on like a dead sprint. He's not like looking to buy time. He's looking to get out of trouble. Right. Yeah. He's become a major problem. He's lost some confidence in himself, and it looks like he's definitely lost confidence in his offensive line, which I can't blame him for that. You're down to your third team right guard 3 weeks into the season, but Tua is becoming a major concern here.
Yeah. And it's not like any other quarterback's going to solve it. Behind that line, they're all going to get killed. Nobody's going to have time. But I'm just saying, that this is a problem for him, and he's in a rut right now.
Yeah, he is.
He'll admit it, and I know he gets touchy with you guys now, but
they need a running game. They need a running game to take some pressure off of him, Big O, because that's about the only thing that can do it at this point. Jonnu isn't there. Your offensive line has injury issues. I don't like look, McDaniel calls the games the way he calls the games, right? He loves that passing game. He'll never fall out of love with that passing game. But at least, I saw some promise when he went to Ollie Gordon early. They actually went to Willie Gay early, but Willie Gay didn't get a whole lot of burn after that. I would have liked to have seen Ollie get more carries. I don't know what, McDaniel says that his off-ball stuff suffers. I really don't care if people know that Ollie is getting the ball when he comes in the game. He helps. It's like bringing in a big back on 3rd and 1. He's going to get the ball. You still got to stop him. Give the ball to Ollie. They even lined up in some I formations tonight, which is different for this team. And they seem to be fairly effective. So I would like to see Mike kind of break with his own tendencies. I would like to see somebody on that staff say, look, Mike, we need to do more of this. That I know what you've got hangups about Ollie, but we need to do more of this so that we are tougher to defend and so that we give Tua a little bit of a break and maybe he gains some confidence. Maybe we give this offensive line a little bit of confidence, but if they keep doing the same old thing, they're going to keep getting the same old results.
I agree. All right, follow him on Twitter at Chris Perk. What are you doing at the South Florida Sun Sentinel so folks can check you out?
Well, I think they did get a big sigh of relief tonight, but it doesn't change the trajectory of the season. You are still headed for mediocrity, but, I think everybody was relieved after this game, and players kept saying that, we're not going to take any solace in this, and I always say morale victory, Big O. It doesn't help your morals, it helps your morale, but they say they aren't taking any morale victories out of this, but I kind of think they are. I kind of think they are, Big O. I think that,
if you would have played a clean game and you played a rock'em sock'em game with them and you lost, okay, I can do that. But there was too much unorganization and too many mistakes.
It wasn't a good game, but it was their best game of the year.
MO of that coach, that his teams are unprepared and make mistakes, and they continue to be unprepared to make mistakes, and that's my problem. So,
no, I agree with you 100% on that. I agree with you 100% on that.
All right, Perk. Safe travels on the way back, my brother.
All right, Big O. Catch up to you after the Jets game. All right.
You got it. There you go. The great Chris Perkins. Reach out to our friends. Eric at EJD Construction, 305-433-4843. Custom home construction, major home remodeling, fully insured, liability and workers' comp. So everybody that's on your property, if they get injured, nobody's suing you. By the way, if you don't hire EJD Construction, whoever you do hire, make sure they prove to you they're fully insured before they step 1 inch on your property, because if not, you're responsible. So hire responsible people. Shell House, Shell Construction in-house. That's how they keep the constructions down, the costs down, folks. Call my guy, Eric, in Dade and Broward. Homes only, by the way, not condos. 305-433-4843.
You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins post-game report with the Sun Sentinel's Chris Perkins. For additions, home remodeling, and custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
Bag on head. Thank you for the love on Venmo. And I knew that was going to get to a lot of people because it got to me, right? He goes, Chris Perkins seems like a nice guy, and not seems. Chris Perkins is an exceptional human being. But saying we have a chance to be 2-3 because we might beat two horrible opponents is so Dolphins media. This is who we are. We beat bad teams. I want to beat the good teams. Sick of how some people have set the bar so low. I'm with you. And plus, there's no guarantee they'll beat both those teams. Zero guarantees. Weren't they supposed to be 2-0? I mean, all I heard from people the entire time was, "Oh no, dude, the Dolphins, they'll be 2-0 headed into the Buffalo game." That's what we all thought. Oh no, yeah, 2-0 when we head into the Buffalo game. No, that wasn't the case. No. So yeah, I disagree with Chris strongly on that one. Okay, to me, the season's over. It's been over for a while now, but now it's like, okay, now it's official that you guys get to like see that it's over. You know what I'm saying? What do you have there, Sean, on the super chats? I know a couple came in. Might have missed them. Alexander Rene Diaz, remember, to win games, you have to win games and not lose the game. And it's Diaz, LOL, good brother. And I mean line of scrimmage in the last one. It's just living this nightmare every year for us is rough. Next up. Chris Johnson, thank you for the love on the super chat, sir. Not hitting the punter, not letting the Patriots return the kickoff special teams is losing these games for us. Yeah. Where is Danny Crossman when you need him? Right? We all wanted to keep Danny Crossman. I can't even say it with a straight face. All right, let's get to it. David Feronis is ready with our Welt and Rheaume Miami Dolphins post-game report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rheaume Miami Dolphins report with David Feronis is in session.
Welt and Rheaume has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Feronis.
All right. There he is, locked and loaded and ready to go. All right, so you're with Perk here. You shouldn't make a change because I think I saw the same kind of crap, unprepared, mistakes, just a team that typical abandoned the run, ran sometime and then abandoned it. Oh, that screen was great. Again, was just fantastic. I would make the change anyways tomorrow morning. You, sir, what would you do?
Wow, Big O, what a surprise. Of course you're still going to make this change. No, I felt for Mike McDaniel to lose his job after this game, it would have had to take an obliteration, an embarrassing performance. There's no moral victories for this team. I know all of that. Everyone's got to say that. But you got to come away encouraged with how on a short week they went into Buffalo. Everyone was thinking they're just going to go lose by 3-4 touchdowns at a minimum. And they come in and they played right down to the final minutes as they have several times. But then same thing as per usual, then the Bills make the play late to win the game, or the Dolphins make a play to lose the game. They made a couple of them in this case. And that's part of why the Bills remain superior in the AFC East. And the Dolphins are where they are, which right now is 0-3. But they didn't feel like an 0-3 team that has the sky falling on them. Right now from this game. No, I don't make a move. I feel like it's a bit of a soft part of the schedule coming up. I think on a long rest, they can bounce back against the Jets on the following Monday night and then pick up some wins, see where they are.
Wasn't it soft in the first two?
We think so, yeah. I mean, the Colts they look like they're a little better now than we thought going in. They're not as mediocre as probably we believed, and the Patriots, Mike Vrabel has Mike McDaniel and Tua's number. Maybe they're getting some things going. They were coming off a bad loss in their own right to the Raiders in week 1. So no, I'm not going to excuse them for that one. But point is, I'm not going all the way to that extreme of saying Mike McDaniel still needs to be fired off this loss. That's not where I would go right now. But there's still a long season.
Okay, Tua. I got to say, my boy is playing scared. He's getting baited now every single week with the underneath defender stealing the ball from him. It's happened 3 weeks in a row. What did he say in his press conference? Was he asked about these interceptions that he continues to not see? And he bullshitted and lied when he told you in week 1 that he did see the guy and that he was trying to, thread it in there. That's a bunch of crap because now it's happened 3 weeks in a row that the underneath guy steals the ball from him. What's going on? In your eyes, what do you see?
Yeah, I did ask Tua about that interception, but he credited Terrell Bernard for making a play. The linebacker wasn't where he was expecting him to be. He was saying that 10 out of 10 times he would still make that progression. And now Mike McDaniel did say Tua needed to go to the flat again. In that case, the Bills were keeping everything in front of them, forcing Tua to throw to the flat. That's why you saw so many throws to Achane out there, sometimes too many, because the Bills were ready for some of them, like the one where he gets lit up by Shaq Thompson. And if it seemed like, if you keep going that way, then the Bills are certainly adjusting. But it was a very safe game for the most part. And that was one more where he did need to go to the flat, and he did not. He tried to force one, and there was a defender there in a spot where he wasn't expecting, but he no excuse. He has to see him and go through a progression, go to the next read.
Yeah, and that's why you had a bad average with Achane. With all those catches, it was a terrible average, overall. Yeah. It wasn't productive. But back to Tua, he's not going to admit that he's playing scared. He's not going to admit that he doesn't trust the offensive line. But, dude, watch it. It's obvious. He's looking down. He doesn't have his eyes up all the time. He's not focused all the time, and that's why he's making some mistakes. And he's, like I told Perk before, today he did something that everybody complains about, right? He doesn't extend plays. Well, he did it a couple times. He extended plays to complete passes, but it wasn't like an extending play. No, it was an extending play like he was running for his effing life. And that's why he was extending the play, because he had no choice. They were just running his ass out of the pocket. So that's why it happened. But to me, he's playing scared, dude. There's an issue there.
Yeah, but also, how else are you going to play right now behind this line? He's got backups on the at both positions on the right side of the line. It's Larry Borom, it's Keon Smith, and Keon Smith was benched within the game. He goes to Daniel Brunskill, so obviously more of a veteran. He's got more experience under his belt. But then on the interception, he's the one allowing that pressure to the Bills' defensive tackle, where he really stood no measure of resistance against the pass rush, and obviously Tua has the big D tackle on his face as he throws it. So I was impressed a couple times when he did get out there. I was like, I haven't seen that in a long time. And Tua scrambled for that first down, got down right after the stick, so he had the awareness of where he needed to get to, slid right at the right time. And then there was one second down throwaway as he was running for his life that I tweeted in that moment after they converted following that was actually a great play. Was that he did not force anything. He lived to play another down, and I think that was a drive that ended up resulting in the touchdown. So some impressive instances when Tua was under duress.
Not enough Ollie Gordon, huh? It was nice.
Yeah, but you know what? They did go to him, though. They did go to him at least.
I know, but I would have liked to seen a little bit. I would like to see it more featured and more centered around your offense, where Achane complements him as a pass catcher instead of the running back, man, because he can punish people, dude. He can move, bodies. And I think you need to have that. It was nice to get 8 carries, don't get me wrong. But
he got 9.
9. I would like to see him get a little bit more, dude. I really would.
Yeah, well, 4 of those came on the first drive, so they really set a tone. And then it was kind of – then I remember looking back later, it might have been the third quarter, and he only had 6 at that point after I had just seen him get one. So it was like there was only one in between the first drive and that moment, when he got that other one. So they got away from it quite a bit. There were the 2 back-to-back 3-and-outs after the opening scripted drive, 2 back-to-back 3-and-outs, and they weren't running the ball in those cases. And the Bills' touchdown was sandwiched between those 2 empty drives, where you started where it's like we're going back and forth, trading blows, and then in that case fell behind 14-7 after starting with the lead. But then they fought back later and got back into it. But just that was a key moment as well to not go with them stride for stride with those 3-and-outs.
But you just backed me up there, because of the 9 carries, 4 of them were in the first drive. So that means 5
the rest of the game. Yeah,
for the rest of the game. That's pathetic. And the other thing is, in 2 of the touchdown drives, he was a big factor in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, okay, so you see the score, 2 of your touchdowns, he was a big part of it. Again, I would like your offense to switch over a little bit more to that, where you have a power running back and then you're playing HN off that power running back and the receivers are playing off that power running back. I think that at least try it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's got the size. He can punish people. Maybe he can wear some people out in the 3rd and 4th quarter, make it easy. You saw at the end of that half when they got that drive in, the Bills were kind of gassed on that drive. I don't know if you noticed. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't have my eyes too much on them, but yeah, it's a good observation.
Second half when they got that, in the first half when they got that late drive,
Mm-hmm.
the Bills felt that drive, bro, and that's because the run game was part of that drive also. I don't know, man.
Those are the benefits. Those are the benefits of doing all those things. It's not just how many yards you're gaining per play. It's the establishing of a physical presence and showing that you can play smash mouth football to complement what the team is known as, which is the speed team and finesse offense. Is that you can do both things. I mean, Ollie Gordon is your avenue to bringing that presence.
Yeah, and keep Buffalo off the field because you chew up the clock a little bit more by doing stuff like that. Overall, injury wise, they did suffer some injuries. What do you know?
Yeah, it was Jason Marshall. It was a hamstring injury for him, but no other update after he was ruled out at halftime. Originally questionable. We saw him limp away first to the injury tent and then to the locker room. Didn't come back. So Dolphins need to get more information once they get back to Miami. And yeah, I mean, we saw Jack Jones get hurt momentarily, but he went back into the game. So relatively healthy. I'm not missing anyone, right? Someone else go down?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about it. So
Marshall's the big one there.
Yeah, Marshall's a big one. Who I told Perk this, that after a week after Weaver got all this criticism, his defense today gave them a chance to win the game.
Yeah. That was what you wanted to see from Anthony Weaver, and against in a tough task. Always Josh Allen, especially at home, that's a tough task. And when the Dolphins were also using the run game, then that helped as well. Is to maintain some semblance of time of possession, but then got away from it in some cases, and then that's actually when the Bills go and go score. So those things kind of work in tandem. But yeah, solid performance. I got to look at all the numbers as far as how many possessions there were. But I mean, and then you think late. They get the 4th quarter stop. It was a 3-and-out. They actually had a couple of those, and then it's the Zach Sealer running into the punter. I mean, he's trying to make a play, but costly penalty. How different things could have been if the Dolphins are then driving with the football 7 minutes to go instead of what ultimately turns into the go-ahead touchdown because he gave him a new set of downs.
I'm with you there. All right. By the way, Welton Rayom, bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. Call them 954-966-4646. We are in hurricane season, folks. So just in case, and you get storms, and sometimes there's a rainstorm or a windstorm. It doesn't have to be a hurricane, and it can cause some damage. They have their own adjusters. They will send their adjusters, and then they will call the insurance company and handle the insurance company for you. So make sure you call Welton Rayom, 954-966-4646 for those of you here in Florida. All right. You tell me, my brother. Perk tried to sell us that there's still hope. You pumping opium?
Yeah, I mean, as far as this season turning into some kind of playoff run,
yes.
Obviously, the chances.
Playoffs. Just play. Don't give me playoff run. Don't insult my intelligence, please. Playoffs. Do you actually think, Mr. Mora, they'll make the playoffs?
No. I mean, you don't start 0-3 and then just make that much of a run. It would take so much to happen. Like, I mean, Joe Burrow's down for the Bengals, but it's just so many other teams would have to really falter because it's not just that the Dolphins would have to go in and turn things around. You probably want to get to at least 10-7, and so the math on that is to go 10-4 the rest of the way. So that's a tough task, especially when it gets tougher second half. So no, you don't count on that. It's more so just about if you could just get somewhere through this October. Start with the game against the Jets. If they lose at home against the Jets on a Monday night, then listen, I'm not taking the pressure off of Mike McDaniel just because he played tight at Buffalo and lost. You're right back into disaster mode if they lose at home to the New York Jets and you are 0-4 plus 0-3 in the division against the Patriots and the Jets at home. You lose your home games to those two teams, then no, now you're right back onto the sky is falling mode. But I'm just saying Mike McDaniel bought himself a little bit of time he's not getting fired this game.
So that's when you can fire him if they lose to the Jets.
Personally, I would in that case, because I think there's a lot of precedence for 4 games once your season is off to that disastrous of a start. But I don't know if Stephen Ross sees it that way. We got the report from Ian Rappaport that pregame that Stephen Ross doesn't want to, and he's going to be patient with Mike McDaniel. I think that turned out all right for this game because you did see some signs of competing against a Super Bowl contender on the road on a short week with so much adversity swirling around the team. But if with all the rest that goes into the Monday night game now, 10 days in between games, and you lose to those Jets at home, then no, now you're right back. And no matter how that happens, then no, you're right back to how you just felt going or coming off the Patriots loss with a banner flying over and all, which I think there's going to be another banner flying over that game too.
Whatever. Buy Bitcoin, bro. Be a lot better for you. All right, we're back on the Sentinel so folks can check you out, man.
Yeah, just finishing up coverage of this game, and then it's a late night. I got to see where I go, figure out something to write tomorrow, and try to enjoy a weekend too. I'm going to check out Toronto up here while I'm here with a weekend to myself. The Dolphins played here on a Thursday night. Always wanted to check out Toronto on one of these trips, but yeah, this time it'll work out.
You're going to love it, bro. I've been there a couple of times. Because when I go to Buffalo, I just go to Toronto. I mean,
nice.
Who wants to stay in Buffalo? I mean, give me a break. You go to Toronto. That's it's awesome. I
don't want to, but I'm just not going to drive the 2 hours and go across customs to cover the game. But this time it works out.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You go with La Emigra. They're going to let you back in. Are you sure? Or, you got all your papers?
Yeah, I brought a passport.
I just want to make sure,
No, I know.
If they don't let you back in, we'll get a GoFundMe page going and get you out. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe use some of the funds that'll go to that next banner to bring David Feronis home.
There you go. I like it. Follow him on Twitter at @DavidFeronis_. David, be safe. Enjoy Toronto, my brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. There you go. David Feronis getting it done. We thank Welton Rayom, proud sponsors of our program from day one on this platform. 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Feronis. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Dolphins lose 21-31. And, there's always a key decision in the game. Well, let's find out what was our Sloman's key decisions of the game.
What was the deciding moment? Who made the right move? Where did the game change? It's the Sloman's key decision of the game. Make the smart decision to protect your home and family by calling Sloman's at 1-800-ALARM-ME, serving Americans for nearly 100 years. Here's our Sloman's key decision of the game.
We got to go with two of them, and they're pretty obvious. First, we got to go with the boneheaded decision by Tua Tagovailoa and throwing that interception at a terrible time where you had an opportunity to get back into that game. Stupid decision, plus a very disturbing one, because it's 3 weeks in a row now that he is playing scared and his eyes are not focused and he's not seeing the underneath receiver. That was a key decision of the game. And the other one was Zach Seiler. God bless him. He meant well. He's trying to get the block, but he's a big-ass dude. And I guess he was getting so close, he looked at it like a brontosaurus burger, and he wanted to take a bite. And unfortunately, he took the punter with him, and that was a bad decision. So those are two Sloman's key decisions of the game, and they were bad ones. Now, you can make a good one by going with Sloman's Shield Link, and that is where your home and all your smart devices work together seamlessly and effortlessly. You're going to love it. From one app, you can control the lights, the climate, the door locks, the music, the blinds, the TVs, anything and everything out there. Shield Link combines professional-grade security monitoring with cutting-edge smart home automation. Homeowners can lock doors, adjust the thermostat, switch lights on and off, view the live camera feeds, even create an automated routine from a single dashboard. You want to find out more? Reach out to our friends at Sloman's, 1-800-ALARM-ME, all-in-one, advanced protection, 24/7 professional monitoring, personalized automation, and peace of mind. And Sloman's been giving Americans that for 100 years, folks. Reach out to Sloman's, 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Our key decision of the game is brought to you by Sloman's Home Shield. When you want to protect your home, family, or business, call Sloman's at 1-800-ALARM-ME.
All right. Wow. Oh, man. That was rough. By the way, the Jets will play Tampa Bay on Sunday. Tampa Bay favored by 6.5. The over and under is 43.5. Pittsburgh will visit New England. Those are the two games in the division. Pittsburgh favored by 1.5 in New England. Over and under is 44.5. So those are the other two games in the division. By the way, I'll give it tomorrow, but what the hell, just in case some of you don't tune in, the wise guy picks are in, and he's going with the Texans over the Jags, -1.5. He's going with the Niners, -2.5 over the Cards. He's going with the Eagles, -3.5 over the Rams. And he's got the under in the Raiders-Commanders game, under 44. That's the wise guys picks for those of you that tune in on Fridays on our regular season. I'm giving you the picks before we give them tomorrow. All right, so there you go. Of course, we are not professional anything, financial advisors, gamblers, or anything like that. We just do a talk show, and we have some fun while we're doing it. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo anytime we are listening, anywhere. We always appreciate it. Thank you for supporting us and visiting our amazing sponsors. We thank Chris Perkins. We thank David Feronis and the great Sean Stanley. We shall see you tomorrow morning. We'll be on at 11:30. I'm going a little later because I feel like it, because I got to rest, because this is the third show I did today. So we're done. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
You've been listening to our Dolphins post-game show with Big O. The broadcast is brought to you by Welton Rayom, Acura of Pembroke Pines, Hialeah Park Casino, RM Contractors, Toyota of Hollywood, Haineswear, Sloman's Home Security, BigCheeseMiami.com, EJD Construction. The broadcast is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley. Thank you for supporting the platform and our fantastic sponsors. Go Fins!